What if someone made an anime about insomnia, a sleep disorder where you may have trouble falling asleep, staying asleep, or getting good quality sleep? An anime where the primary plot is focused on the inability to fall asleep. Well, I'm happy to report that there is just the right anime for you. By the way, I know the sleep fetish might sound weird, but I'm not complaining, alright? Insomniacs After School is the second anime in a new upcoming genre called the sleep deprivation genre. The first anime from this genre was a slapper, so they decided to make a second one. This time they took out the vampire waifu and replaced her with a normal one.
My disappointment is immeasurable.
But if you set that aside, this is a surprisingly good romance anime to come out this season. The story of Insomniacs is based around Ganta, a high schooler who can't sleep no matter what. Now look, I'm not a doctor, but he should try rubbing one out. Long story short, this guy's life is fucked up because of his sleep schedule, just like mine. So every morning he's tired, miserable, and finding ways to catch some sleep whenever possible. Ganta is not a very popular person in class because he doesn't really interact with a lot of people. So most of the time he's unnoticed by his classmates, and when he does garner some attention, it usually doesn't end on a high note. Ganta's aggression comes from his very obvious sleep deprivation. Due to this big problem, Ganta is constantly searching for spots where he can sleep in peace, and one day he stumbles upon the astronomy room of his school, which was left unused for a very long time. Ganta found this place to be a very nice spot to sleep and decided to make it his secret sleep spot. But just as he was about to claim it for himself, he saw another person sleeping there in a fucking box for some reason. But of course, like any normal person, Ganta decides to shove his face into the sleeping girl, and then she instantly woke up and kicked the shit out of him. Is what any normal person would have done in that scenario, but she didn't, and that's the start of a relationship between Ganta Nakami and Isaki Magari. Isaki is our second protagonist of the show and also a member of the Sleep Deprived Club. So naturally, both Ganta and Isaki became good friends right from the get-go. They both understand each other and decide to share the astronomy room for sleeping with the promise not to tell anyone else about it. Both Ganta and Isaki's relationship is the primary focus of the show and is pretty evident right from the get-go. They both become pretty good friends and chill out in the astronomy room to share their stories and sleep because sleeping is still the final boss battle in this anime. But their little secret hideout spot would not last for long because first of all, they're in a fucking school, so there are teachers, and one teacher found out about this and they told them, "Get the fuck out, I'm calling your mom and telling them you two did drugs." The two of them pleaded for their lives, so the teachers told them to restart the astronomy club and she'll let it slide. I didn't know the teacher was chill like that. So of course they just restarted the astronomy club because duh, but unlike before, now they can't just sleep there, instead they need to show that the astronomy club is a real deal and not a meth lab. From there on onwards, the show dives deeper into the relationship of Ganta and Isaki. I think they both have a cute and fun dynamic that works very well. If you start watching this show just to see people not getting sleep, the anime will call you a loser down the line. Hey look guys, even the antisocial guy who doesn't sleep can pull a girl, but this guy can't. So even with all the insomnia going around, Ganta still has Riz. Now here's the problem, this show has a bit too much Riz, that they completely forgot that it was actually supposed to be an anime about insomnia. But it's not really a problem or anything because seeing both of them getting like 24 minutes of good sleep every week, it doesn't seem like a very good premise to me. So because they both can't sleep anymore, Ganta and Isaki decides to hang out at night with a camera because anime characters does not have parents. Now talking about cameras, photography is one of the core themes of the show, to the point calling this anime Photographers After School sounds like a more accurate title to me. And I really like how they did the photography aspect because it's pretty detailed. You can even learn a thing or two about cameras and photography if you listen close enough. Most of what they photograph is the beautiful night sky for their astronomy club, which first started as an obligation but later turned into a passionate hobby for both Ganta and Isaki. When talking about other characters, the show really doesn't do a lot with them, and most of the spotlight is still on Ganta and Isaki. But some of the other notable ones are Shiromaru senpai, who's like a mentor to Ganta to help him learn more about cameras and photography techniques, and the teacher that let them out of the club room, who then becomes a supportive figure in helping them grow their passion. Insomniacs After School is still a pretty slow burn anime, also known as, I'm gonna say it, slice of life. It's not revolutionizing the system by incorporating the sleepless mechanism, which they keep forgetting about funnily enough. And when you see some parts, you can see that the show really doesn't want to be inside a shell of being constricted into that one single trope to milk of, and that's a good thing, because I believe some shows try too hard to keep and grow a single idea, to the point that the whole show becomes extremely shallow without any essence. So I'm happy that's not the case here, and they decide to explore more ideas while still keeping the insomnia theme and doing meaningful callbacks here and there. So finally, we get into the big reason to watch this anime. No, it's not the anime sleep compilation, it's a romance. The primary reason you should be watching this anime is to see the relationship between Ganta and Isaki grow. And I'm happy to report that the show does a very good job in developing their characters from just two kids with sleep deprivation to sharing their struggles and their reasons for where they are in life. The show generally does a good job in their characterization and slow build-up of their romance, from meeting inside a box to going on a trip to get that perfect shot of the sky. So, is this the greatest anime from sleep deprivation genre? Well, I don't know about that, but I will definitely watch more if they make more of these. Thanks for watching this video, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you later.